Our board meeting, and I'm going to turn the mic over to the one and only, live from Niagara Falls, New York, Mr. Mark Lord.
Well, thank you for that rousing introduction, Tony. Tommy, are we live? Good evening, everyone. It is an agenda review session and a voting meeting this evening at 7 o'clock. Let me just try to set the stage for what we're going to accomplish tonight. It is a financial meeting. We're going to begin with our external audit. We're going to very quickly talk about our internal audit and our internal claims audit. We're going to review the agenda that we're asking you to hopefully support at 7 p.m. this evening. And then, Mr. President and members of the board, we're going to ask at the conclusion of that, probably around 6:15, to adjourn for an executive session prior to the voting meeting. I will read the reasons at that time, and there won't be any action taking place afterwards. But let's begin, and I'm going to welcome our guests in a moment. We had a very good audit committee meeting at 4 o'clock this afternoon to review much of what we're going to go through right now. But for the edification of the board and the viewing public, our first agenda item will be to take you through the New York State required external audit. This audit is due to the state government on October 15th, which is today. However, we do have a 30-day grace period, and once you hear the results of this audit, I assure you that within 5 days we'll have that submitted and fall well within the grace period. We're fortunate to have Drescher and Malecki as our external auditors. We have worked with them, even though they have assigned different staff yearly to review our books and go through the process to make sure that we get fresh, cold eyes on our numbers all the time. But we're pleased with Drescher and Malecki. And before you come to the podium, Matt and Kyle, I wanted to thank you for always your professionalism, but also your willingness to change the date. We know this was not the date we gave you, but you quickly agreed to come a day early and get your work done. So I want to publicly thank Drescher and Malecki for accommodating our schedules. We appreciate that. So Kyle and Matt, would you like to present the 2024-25 external required audit to our board?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So we're here to present the results for the district's external audit for the fiscal year June 30th, 2025. As the superintendent noted, we met previously with the audit committee, reviewed the report in detail. Want to provide those slides to the group here. So the overall audit, page 1 of the slides, we talk about our auditor communications. So that clarifies what our responsibility is in accordance with our standards. And that is to form and express an opinion on the district's financial statements. We clarify that management is responsible for the books and records, so they provide all the information as far as the district's financial information. We come in as an independent third party and provide an opinion on the financials. So the best you can do is an unmodified opinion. That's a clean opinion on the financial statements. That is what we intend on moving forward with. So we believe that the district's financial statements for the year ended June 30th, 2025 are fairly stated. They can be relied upon by the board as well as outside third parties. As far as the significant items we reviewed with the audit committee, there's certain accounting standards that the district is required to implement each year. Their governmental accounting standards number 101 was related to accrued sick vacation time, essentially compensated absences, and the estimated liability for that obligation. It did not have a significant impact on the district's financials, but it was implemented by the district and evaluated during the audit. And then the last two items, independence. So this is a requirement for all of the staff that work on the audit, right up to the partner level. We're required to be free of conflicts of interest with the district. It's what allows us to be objective in performing those audit tests and then ultimately providing an opinion on the financial statements. And then as far as other matters, I'll talk about during the concluding slide, just the federal component of the audit and some of the differences this year from past years. So before we do that, I'll turn to page 2 of the slides, and that is our financial trend. So we'll look at the general fund, 5-year trend, revenues versus expenditures. You can see the revenue line has exceeded expenditures for each of the last 5 years. Obviously, that's a positive trend. That means you're generating fund balance. That is, you're able to increase your fund balance, increase your reserves, and it gives you a little bit of flexibility going forward. So for 24-25, the general fund increased $4.2 million. So that's what your fund balance increased in the general fund. As we kind of look at the trends, and this is pretty consistent across other school districts in New York State, that line is starting to close a little bit between the revenues and expenditure, and going forward, we anticipate it's going to be more challenging to increase fund balance. And that obviously puts a little bit of extra pressure on the budget process. So in the next slide, we'll talk about fund balance and kind of hopefully bring that all together. So page 3, this looks at, again, that operating trend. How did that impact your general fund balance? Your total fund balance increased from about $52.7 million to $56.9 at the end of 2025. We show them as components of fund balance because it's important to understand where you're restricted as far as what you can use. The biggest portion is in that restricted area, about $46.8 million, and that's primarily made up of 4 large reserves. That is the employee benefits reserve. That's where I talked about those compensated absences liability, the amount that employees earn and are paid out at retirement. About $14.4 million in that fund. And then workers' compensation, debt service, and then retirement, the retirement system. So that includes your ERS and your TRS obligations. So this is a positive for the district as you're going through those budget challenges going forward and trying to balance the budget, because that gives you a little flexibility if you ever need to appropriate funds for those purposes. So certainly your retirement contribution increases typically every year. Those reserve funds will allow that flexibility as you look into the budget going forward. The unassigned portion, $8.1 million, that is the maximum you're allowed under New York State real property tax law. On the next slide, page 4, we show that compliance. So you're at that 4% level, $8.1 million. That's important because this is really the only truly available fund balance that you have, and that allows for cash flow to operate. So it is important to be at that max level and allow your operations to fund your ongoing expenditures. The last couple slides, we'll just look at the school lunch fund. It's been a talking point in the past because the state does typically look at how much you're carrying within that fund. On page 5, we look at the revenue versus expenditure trend. Notably, over the last 3 years, a pretty stable trend where your revenues are right around the same level as expenditures. In 24-25, you did have some capital purchases, some improvements within the cafeterias. So you did actually decrease fund balance about $136,000 there. But as we move on to page 6, the fund balance over the last 5 years has been fairly stable. You're in a position where you're below that maximum threshold within the state guidance, and you're also, you have flexibility to meet those capital needs as you go forward. So the last item I'll conclude on, once again, we did have a clean audit on the financial statements, best you can do from an audit standpoint. We did not have any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies in internal controls. I referenced the federal audit previously. So this is a separate, what's referred to as a federal single audit, and that's on your compliance with your major federal programs. So we did complete our testing, but the federal guidance related to these programs is delayed. So annually they update their guidance for these testing of programs. Delayed on the federal level. We're waiting to see when they issue those final guidance. So we've conducted the testing. We haven't identified any non-compliance. But until that federal guidance comes final, we can't conclude on that part of the audit. And that's consistent with all the districts in New York State. So I'll certainly take any questions, but we plan on moving forward with the financial statement component of the audit, so you can file with New York State within the next couple of days. But I'll take any questions, concerns at this point.
I have a number of comments, but I'll wait for another question. So, if I may, first of all, the audit committee reviewed this at 4 o'clock. I know Ms. Dodd and Mr. Velardo were there along with our generous community members. The audit committee did recommend this budget. That's number one. Number two, I think you make a really good point, Matt, on slide 2. The lines are starting to get closer, and we'll have to watch that intersection very closely going forward. We'll have to watch the federal picture, and we'll have to watch the state picture, even though it is an election year coming up. I'm a little bit skeptical about what that will bring in terms of state aid, and at the proper time, I'll tell you my thinking on that. With regard to the reserves, I want to report that we have 2 reserve funds that are funded at the maximum allowable amount that could be funded. Obviously, the 4% is funded at 4%, which is $8 million. We can't take any more money in there. And also the TRS, or Teachers Retirement System account, is funded at a maximum amount of reserve money we can put in there. Thirdly, on the reserve funds, I want you to know that this is year 3, and we have asked for a actuarial study of our workers' comp reserve. I am highly confident that once that actuarial study comes through, we will be at the highest confidence level of workers' comp reserve funds too. But we'll let the actuarial study do the talking for that. We did increase the fund balance $4.2 million, so you see that positive trend going forward. I really appreciate the work of Becky, Monica, Markesia. I'm picking a new name every week. Markesia, Julie, of course, in terms of the clean, unmodified opinion. I think that's wonderful. I think we've had that same opinion for 6 consecutive years. With respect to the cafeteria fund, it has reduced a bit. We did spend $120,000 out of the reserve fund last year, and the purpose of that spending was to buy capital purchases for the cafeterias. We have a very, and Mike was one of them, we have a very frugal maintenance team who is always trying to fix stuff and jerry-rig stuff, and it's not worth fixing a 20-year-old refrigerator anymore. It's better to just buy it. We have the money, and that is the reason why that that account has dropped down a little bit in terms of money. The next steps on this will be for Matt to work with Julie and team starting tomorrow to remove the watermark and finalize this audit. We hope to submit it to the state on Monday. We also accompany this report to the state with a legal letter from our lawyers that stated about any ongoing legal matters, any concerns. We did disclose, I want everyone to know, we did disclose our ongoing work with the child victims cases. And again, with kudos to our legal team, we have been able to mitigate as best we can district contributions from our reserves or from our budget. But that was disclosed in the legal letter, so I want everybody to know that. Otherwise, I'm really proud of this work. You should be proud of your team, and I'm going to recommend at the 7 o'clock meeting that you vote in favor of this audit, and that we chalk that up as another great job that you've done as a board, keeping your responsibility towards one of your major tasks, and that's finances, in good stead. So I just want to make those comments. Earl?
Question for clarity. If I'm not mistaken, the cafeteria fund had gotten a little too large and we needed to spend that money?
Yes.
So it's not just,
Right.
just replace it because it's 20 years old, but we needed to spend that money or we're gonna lose it. Is that correct?
That is correct. In 2021-22, we received a letter, and I'm not sure what the percentage is that you can keep. You can only keep an average of 3 months, and we had exceeded that. And the letter from the state said that you need to have a plan to reduce that. And part of the plan we wrote, you're correct, Mr. Bass, was to make capital purchases from it. So that is part of the plan, and that's what we keep doing in an ongoing way so as not to ever exceed that 33% again. So you are right, but it's still a good reserve amount there. Yeah, 3 months is that's the level. Did you make that up, Markesia? Okay. All right, 3 months. So, but Earl, you are correct. We haven't received that letter since 21-22, and we don't plan to have that happen again. Even though it wasn't the worst thing that could have happened, but we're just being more mindful of a cycle of replacement for kitchen equipment. Other questions or comments?
Superintendent?
Yeah.
Would you please let Mr. Petrosi know that we have enough money to buy a toaster?
We do. We could buy a couple toasters. Yeah.
And the comp fund is funded.
Yeah, the comp fund is funded. Yeah, I think page 2, I know we kid about that, but I think page 2, that intersection of the blue and red line, we're going to have to watch that real closely coming forward. We're going to have to watch that. There's always been some space in between those two lines, but there's a lot of external things going on that are really causing us to watch that gap and to make sure that we continue to have more revenues than we do expenses. But I guarantee we'll continue the fiduciary responsibility that you expect. Anything else? Thank you very much. Appreciate your time here and appreciate your team. And I always ask, did anyone interfere with any of this work or cause any problem?
No, full cooperation.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
You're welcome. I wanted to segue into another resolution that you have this evening and talk about the internal audit. So as I said, tonight is a night of finances, and we are recommending to you under one of the resolutions, I think it is coming up, Ray, to appoint a new internal auditor. That would be Trinconi, Segura and Associates. With great appreciation to Bonadeo, we've gone to the BOCES bid list, and we are asking you to approve Trinconi, Segura. They have already been in to do a risk assessment, which I'll speak about in a moment. And we like their face-to-face on-site presence. That's what we were really looking for with an internal auditor. Because if there are things that we're not doing, Markesia, Julie, Becky, team are right there to make those corrections at the point and not to have to wait any longer. So the internal audit is going to begin if you approve their Trinconi and Segura. The internal audit will begin on January 12th, 2026. That audit must be filed by the state by April 30th. They feel that they can get their work done by March, your March board meeting, which is a month in advance of when it's required. They did a risk assessment because they wanted to be able to dissect what areas that they're going to look into. And they did, we did at the audit committee select 3 areas of internal audit, with food service, the child nutrition program, being the #1 area of audit, internal audit look-in. We are implementing right now a new point of sale cafeteria system. They're going to delve deep into the child nutrition program. And as one of your audit committee members said, it's a really good idea because every 3 years the government comes in and does their own audit. So this will be a year ahead of the government's audit for child nutrition. That's one of the reasons why we picked it, and that's one of the areas that we want to dig into deeper. We also are going to dig into payroll which is always an area that needs a look. And finally, financial reports. And I'll ask Julie to explain a little bit more about what financial reports means to you. But I also want to foreshadow the fact that, as we know, the child nutrition audits come every 3 years. We also know the comptroller's audits come every 5 years. And it was 5 years ago when the comptroller was last here. And financial reporting is where the comptroller usually starts. So, Julie, if you would kindly just give the board a little bit more depth on what financial reports means.
So the financial reporting piece is an area we haven't tested previously, but like Mr. Laurie said, the OSC, that has been a hot topic. And really what they're looking at is just that we are providing the required reports to the board, the financial reports such as the treasurer's report, revenue status report, appropriation status report, and then also that we are internally having a process of reviewing that also.
So the internal auditor in January will look at payroll, financial reports, and the food service program. In their observation and their risk assessment, they found us to only have moderate to medium risk areas, no severe risk areas, just in their risk assessment. But we agreed at the audit committee that those would be the 3 areas that they would look at. The other area that is, well, the other 2 areas that are very fertile for audits are IT, Ray's department. Why, and that may be something they look at next year. Why I'm comfortable with where Ray is for a couple of reasons. We're always vulnerable. There's no doubt about it. We're always vulnerable. Ray would be the first to admit it. However, we're going to ask you tonight to approve cyber insurance, which was just up to $2 million at a reduced cost, which is a good sign. There is no one with more fidelity to education law 2D anywhere than Ray in making sure that we are on top of everything. We have done our own fishing expeditions. Matter of fact, Ray fished the whole district about 2 weeks ago, 1,508 fishes. Unfortunately, we caught 21 fishes. But we're doing our own internal processes, penetration tests, etc. So while I believe IT is a fertile area always, I think Ray and his team have done a really good job keeping us in good stead. And we have had a internal audit for a while, so we're going to hold off a year on that. The other interesting audit area that because they publish the audits every week, so I try to read other districts in New York State. The other audit area that is really getting hit in New York State is lead water testing for lead. Just so the board knows, Mr. Macri just completed lead testing in our water. It wasn't due till December. He got ahead of it. There are about 96 faucets that are being taken out of service or being labeled as not drinkable water, and other faucets have been remediated. So I feel like our reporting, our testing, our signage about lead testing in water is in really, really good shape. But if you read the last couple months of controller audits, they've really come down hard. There was a local district that they came down hard on with lead testing. So I think we're in really good shape there. Otherwise, those will be the areas, and we'll report back to you, and there will be an audit committee meeting in March. The last part of the audit committee I wanted to tell you is that they reviewed the August internal claims audit, where we spent $10,035,878, and we had no confirmatories or findings. So we've now gone 3 months, only 9 months to go, without any confirmatories or findings. And our goal is to have 0 this year. So we're pressing very hard. July and August, and I've already looked at September, that has 0 too, so pressing hard to get that done. That is all I have on the internal audit and the external audit. And Mr. President, when we come to the point of the external audit for your voting, I just would like to make a comment. Thanks. If there's no other questions, what I would like to do is put the agenda on the board and ask Maria to get ready. to come through. First of all, board members, nothing has changed since last week. Actually, let me take that back. Something has changed. We removed the ARP audit because we sent our responses in. My hope, wish, and dream would be for them to remove those 4 findings that we talked about and showed you last week. And the guidance that we received is don't resolve to do it. Maybe we'll consider removing some of them. So we've pulled that agenda item off. Also, 2 short-term contracts for Saturday Academy were removed. They were number 7 and 9 on your list. I think it was for juicing and therapy goats. We've taken those off of the short-term list. Nothing else has changed. The majority of your resolutions are for retention payments and to close capital projects, and the final 2 change orders, those change orders were for counters and secured vestibules. We have the acceptance of 2 grants. We have the cyber insurance. We have the Tronconi-Sagara. We have the audit. That is the resolutions that we have for you this evening. Maria, you did present via the mail some updated personnel reports, and if you'd like to go through those now, it would be much appreciated.
I don't know if you have them in front of you, but we'll begin with the certificated report. You'll see the new items are the ones with the little stars next to them. We had a resignation of a school safety officer at Niagara Falls High School. We had the probationary appointments of 2 assistant child care associates, one at Bleneva Bond Primary and one at Abbott. And the rest of the classified report, I believe, except for the very last item on page 6 of 6, is the same. We just added some additional classified staff for the Say Yes Saturday Academy. Does anybody have any questions about the updated classified report? All right, moving on to the updated certificated report. We gave you a little preview of this last week, but we did add a speech teacher who will be servicing Niagara Falls High School and our charter school. And we have the voluntary transfers of 2 special educators. We moved them earlier in the year, but we wanted to reflect that officially for you. These are voluntary transfers, folks that chose to move to the new 813 classes at Abbott. And then you'll see all of the rest of the additions, once again, have to do with per diem work, and then the schedules B, C, D, E, F, and G. Does anybody have any questions about, yes?
That speech teacher, is this like standard that we share service with the charter school, or?
It absolutely is, Mr. Bass, and we've been working on this for quite some time. These are our students at the charter school who are responsible for their IEPs and their services. So the charter school has the opportunity to hire their own staff members, and then they could charge us back for it, or we could hire the staff members. And in this case, Mr. Laurie directed us to hire the staff members.
I would rather us hire our staff and make sure, because they're accountable to us and we're not. I'll keep my comment to myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little disappointed that in the commissioner's ruling on this, I went right to the commissioner. We are now paying more for charter school students, special ed, than we ever have. And I didn't understand why, when we're paying a full $21,000, we still are responsible for hiring and paying for the staff. That was my argument with the state and with the charter school. I can't. We're paying full price, and we also have to pay for the services. I don't agree with that. Have they had a board meeting? Right? They haven't had a board meeting. They have board meetings at 10 o'clock. Have they had an elected board member? So again, those are our students. I do it because they're coming to us in 7th grade, and we own them. And I'm not going to hurt a child, but God, it is really a bad system. It is a bad system. No, they're all our students.
Yeah, these are
So-
our students.
Okay, exclusively?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but I do know that we have enough students of our own whose IEPs we created in service at the charter school
Okay.
to warrant that much of time of a teacher, that
Yeah,
much of a.
I have no problem at all with us having staff there. I just want to make sure that they're servicing our kids,
Right.
especially since we're already paying for them to be there, and then we're hiring staff to service our kids that we're paying for them to educate. And I just want to make sure that those services are going to our students since they're already double dipping on us.
Yeah.
Very well.
It's
And
a
I
good-
said that on record.
It's a good question, Mr. Bass, and there is a way for us to check that. We will speak to the speech teacher, who we know, because we hired her. This is not a new speech teacher, Maria.
This is our new speech teacher.
This is the new one. We will check and make sure that she only touches the IEP of our 36. We have 36 special, exceptional children over there. So we will confirm with her that she only is working with those 36 children, because that's what we're paying for. You're welcome. I appreciate your point. I don't appreciate the fact that they raised our reimbursement to the charter school $358,000. $358,000 over what we budgeted as they raised the rate. So those are one of those little under the radar kind of statements they make. And we took it all the, Maria, the team is my witness, we took this all the way to the commissioner. I just don't feel that if you're paying for the full price for the student, why are we paying for speech and OT on top of it? It might be someday an interesting legal challenge, but we didn't go there. We're going to take care of our kids. They can't hire anybody, so now they're putting it back on us. So we had to find the people. They can't go out and find anyone either. They don't have any width to go get the person. So they kept saying, what are you doing about it? I said, well, what are you doing about it? We can't find anybody. It's up to you. But we found someone. And you know how, board, you know how hard it is to find speech teachers. We found, Maria found someone. I didn't, she did, but that's what we did. It's not a good system, so, but that's nothing I can change, we can change tonight.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
So those are the resolutions for 7 o'clock. Those are I think we've backed up with information, all that we're asking you to vote on this evening. I'm going to ask for an executive session, and I'm going to ask for a permissible reason under the law for motions for executive session, and I'm going to highlight them very didactically. First of all, we would like to go into executive session in the case of 4 separate personnel matters which could lead to the appointment, employment, promotion of a person. All 4 of the matters we're going to discuss are with regard to a personnel matter to the appointment, employee, promotion of a person. And that's the legal reason that I'm reading it, and that's the reason we're doing it. Once we come out of executive session, you'll be taking no action. There won't be any voting on anything that goes on in executive session, but we do need to talk about those because they involve a legal reason to do so. Thank you. Yeah.
Pledge of allegiance, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we gather for this meeting, thank you for your blessings. Help us to make decisions that honor you. Give us wisdom and clarity, and may we work together in a spirit of unity and love. Amen.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bass.
Present.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Kinsemi is present. He stepped away. Mr. Capizzi is not yet with
He's
us.
excused.
He's on his way. Mrs. Dunn. Mr. McLeod. Mr. Petrosi. Mr. Velardo. Mr. Pareto. And Ms. Carr is excused. Thank you.
Okay. Oral communications on agenda-related items, we have none. Number 4, recommended actions from the superintendent of schools, routine matters, items 401 through 402. Okay, 401 are the minutes from September 2025, and 402 is approval of the budget transfer number 3. May I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bass. Mr. Velardo?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, 403, the approval of the following bids, elevator and lift maintenance and repair services. Okay, do I have a motion?
Second.
Second, Mr. Velardo, Mr. Bilson. Judy?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. 404, treasurer's report received and filed. 405, budget status report received and filed. I don't have to make a motion on that, right?
No, correct.
406, personnel report, certificated. May I have a motion? Move, Mr. Velardo. Second, Mr. Bilson. Any question? Judy, please.
Mr. Bass?
Yes.
Mr. Bilson?
Yes.
Mr. Capizzi? Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Dunn? Mr. McLeod? Mr. Petrosi? Mr. Velardo? And Mr. Pareto?
Yes. 407, personnel report classified. May I have a motion, please? Mr. Bass.
Second.
Mr. Bilson, second. Any questions? Judy, please.
Mr. Bass?
Yes.
Mr. Bilson?
Yes.
Mrs. Dunn? Mr. McLeod? Mr. Petrosi? Mr. Velardo? Mr. Pareto?
Yes. We're going to take items 408 and 407 together. 408 is the report from the Committee on Special Education. 409 is the report from the Committee on Preschool Special Education. Mr. Velardo, second.
Second.
Mr. McLeod? Okay. Any questions? Judy, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
410, short-term contracts. We have contracts with New Punjabi, Theraponi, LA Movement, SPCA Saturday Academy, Autumn's Gate Saturday Academy, She Drums, LA Movement Fitness, Mercy Flight, She Drums, Every Way Virtual, Curriculum Associates, Jesse M. Scott Hope Club, Perry Ground Native American Storytelling, and Kent Kuznowski, Father and Son Center, Louise Ferretti, Independent Neuropsychological Evaluation, Elizabeth Bell for TRC course, and One Trusted Adult Training for TAs and Associates. Do I have a motion? Mr. Kinsemi, Mr. Bass, oh yeah, okay. Second or, okay. I have a second? Mr. Velardo, second. Under question, go ahead, Mr. Bass.
The one contract there is A zero, so are they, is this like they're donating their time?
Yes, but it's for insurance purposes. We're requesting insurance,
Okay,
but the time is free.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? Judy, please call the roll.
Mr. Bass.
Yes,
Mr. Bilson. Yes. Mr. Kinsemi. Mrs. Dunn. Mr. McLeod. Mr. Petrosi. Mr. Velardo. Mr. Pareto.
Yes. 411, Head Start reports. A motion. Mr. Consemi. Mr. McLeod, second. Any questions? Judy, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Number 5, unfinished business. We have none. We have no new business. 601, accepting of 24-25 annual independent audit and filing. Do I have a motion? Move, Mr. Bass. Second, Mrs. Dunn. Any questions?
May I make a comment, Mr. President?
Please.
I want to encourage you to support this resolution. Please know that the Audit Committee has recommended this. Please know that you should be proud of the fact that for the 6th consecutive year, you received an unqualified, clean audit with no material weaknesses, no findings, and you've increased your fund balance by 4.2 million dollars. I also would like to stress that we have now maximized the fund balance that you're allowed to keep by law at 4% of your unrestricted amount, and that we've maximized the amount of money you're allowed to keep in your TRS reserve account. And once we receive the actuarial statement, I think you're going to find that we are at the highest confidence level of funding our workers' comp reserve. Very proud of our staff that put this together. I just want to reiterate, to have 6 consecutive audits that are clean and unqualified and continue to grow your reserve funds is one of the major jobs of the board, and you've done it very well, so you should be congratulated, and I'm hoping that you will accept this audit and recognize what a great job was done to both increase our reserves, keep it clean, and continue to have unqualified, unblemished audits. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Laurie. Any other questions or comments? Okay.
All in favor?
Well, let me go over 603. I was going to take 602 and 60. Nope, sorry. Yeah. No, I was going to go over 603. I'm sorry. My fault. Also, 603 is the approval to bind cybersecurity insurance with the Great American Spirit Insurance Company.
Did we vote on 601? I'm sorry.
We didn't? Oh, that's my fault. See, I'm jumping ahead. All right, strike that. Yeah, 601, so we have no questions. So Judy, please call the,
Mr. Bass.
Yes.
Mr. Bilson.
jumped ahead.
Yes.
Mr. Kinsemi. Mr. Capizzi. Mrs. Dunn. Mr. McLeod. Mr. Petrosi. Mr. Velardo. Mr. Pareto.
Yes. Yes. Okay, again, sorry about that. I jumped ahead. 602 is the approval of contract for professional consultant services between the district and Segura Associates, TSA, for the internal audit. 603 is the approval to bind cybersecurity insurance with the Great American Spirit Insurance Company through Right Risk Management. Do I have a motion? Mr. Consemi. Mr. McLeod, second. Any questions? Judy, please.
Mr. Bass. Mr. Bilson.
Yes.
Mr. Kinsemi. Mr. Capizzi. Mrs. Dunn. Mr. McLeod. Mr. Petrosi. Mr. Velardo. Mr. Pareto.
Yes. Okay, 604 and 605. Take those together. 604 is the approval acceptance of funds for ESEA Title I Basic School Improvement Grant. 605 is the approval of contract between the district and the, become a what is that? Subrecipient of a community development block grant. Do I have a motion? Mr. Bilson, Mr. Consemi is second. Any questions? Judy?
Mr. Bass? Yes. Mr. Bilson?
Yes.
Mr. Consemi? Mr. Capizzi? Mrs. Dunn? Mr. McLeod? Mr. Petrosi? Mr. Velardo? Mr. Peretto?
Yes. Okay, 606 and 607 taken together. 607 is the approval for professional services for Game On Entertainment. 607 is the approval of the, I can't even pronounce this, Hogo, which, was with Chef Bobby and formerly of F-Bites. Do I have a motion? Mr. Velardo?
Second.
Mr. Consemi, second. Any questions? Judy, please call
Mr.
the roll.
Bass? Mr. Bilson?
Yes.
Mr. Consemi? Mr. Capizzi? Mrs. Dunn? Mr. McLeod? Mr. Petrosi? Mr. Velardo? Mr. Peretto?
Yes. Okay, 608 through 614. These are all payments. Approval of payment number 17 to Scafari Construction Company. 609, approval of payment number 7 to MKS Plumbing. 610, payment number 19 to John W. Danforth. 611, payment John W. Danforth, payment number 18. 612, payment number 19 with Fry Electric Construction. 613 is payment number 19 to Stark Tech. 614 is approval of payment to Johnson Controls. Do I have a motion? Mr. Velardo first.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bilson. Mrs. Dunn, I'm sorry. She was quick on her draw there. Are there any questions? Judy, please call the roll.
Mr. Bass? Mr. Bilson?
Yes.
Mr. Consemi? Mr. Capizzi? Mrs. Dunn? Mr. McLeod? Mr. Petrosi? Mr. Velardo? Mr. Peretto?
Yes. Okay, 615 and 615 and 616 taken together. 615, change order for SCC 12 and 14 for the Breath of Fresh Air Capital Improvement Project. 616 is a change order for FEC-1 for the Breath of Fresh Air Capital Improvement Project. Do I have a motion? Mr. Bass. Mrs. Dunn, a second. Any questions? Okay, Judy, please call the roll.
Mr. Bass?
Yes.
Mr. Bilson?
Yes.
Mr. Consemi? Mr. Capizzi? Mrs. Dunn? Mr. McLeod? Mr. Petrosi? Mr. Velardo? Mr. Peretto?
Yes. Okay, number 8 is our public comment on non-agenda items. We have Mr. Michael Barksdale. Will you please step up, sir? Welcome.
Good evening. I like how you say that with such distinction. All right, Michael Barksdale, Independence Avenue. Tonight I'll be reading into the record a formal inquiry and concern regarding superintendent search process and board conduct dated October 10th, 2025. Each one of the board members should have received a certified copy, a copy through certified mail and district email. The letter reads, Dear President Peretto and members of the board, on behalf of the Niagara Community Information Group, we submit this letter for inclusion in the public record. Our organization represents a coalition of residents, parents, and educators deeply committed to the success of all our students within the Niagara Falls City School District. We recognize and appreciate the board's responsibility in selecting the next superintendent of schools. However, given the district's current performance, with 9 of the 11 schools designated as TSI or ATSI, and persistent achievement gaps among Black, multiracial, economically disadvantaged students, and students with disabilities, the process must exemplify transparency, integrity, and full adherence to New York State standards. NSEG formally requests that the board clarify the timeline, structure, and scope of the superintendent search process, including when the board was notified of the current superintendent's retirement, the official start date of the search, and the opening and closing dates for the application period. 2, provide detailed steps of how the board plans to adhere to New York State standards and best practices for executive recruitment and community participation. Specifically, how the process aligns with New York State Education Department, NYSED, and New York State Board Association guidelines and ensures fair access for qualified candidates. 3, connect the search process to district improvement, outlining how the board will ensure the selected candidate has a proven track record of improving targeted support and improvement schools and additional targeted support and improvement designated schools, and how measurable goals for lifting Niagara Falls City School District out of that status will be embedded in the superintendent's contract. This moment represents an opportunity for the Niagara Falls City School District to rebuild trust, strengthen governance, and demonstrate genuine commitment to the community it serves. We respectfully request a written response within 5 business days. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Respectfully submitted, the Niagara Community Information Group, Dr. Tina Gregory Schultz, founder and CEO. Thank you.
Okay. 802, Superintendent's Report, Mr. Mark Laurie.
Thank you very much. Stan, it's good to see an old friend in the crowd there. You're not that old, though. That's nice to see you again. Remember, you used to always be here. Thanks. Welcome back, and I hope your health and family are well. You're welcome. Just a reminder to the board members, on November 6th, we will have members of the Maisto litigation team both here and on the screen. This is our case against the state for full foundation aid funding. Many of you have sent me questions. I've sent 5 questions to the attorneys already. I'm going to add one of my own, and that doesn't preclude you from asking a question on the spot. But they will be here, 1 in person, 3 on the screen, to answer your questions about the Maisto case. Following that, we will have our regular agenda review and an executive session. And on the 20th, we do have to have Head Start make a presentation. It's good to hear from them. Please note that this next week, Head Start will have a 4-day audit. This is a federal Head Start audit. It will go from Tuesday to next Friday. We are well prepared, right, Richard? We're well prepared both financially and programmatic for that Head Start audit. I want to remind everyone listening and everyone in the room that this Saturday at Bleneva Bond Primary School, it'll be our 2nd Saturday Academy. The first Saturday Academy at Cataract was a huge success. Over 200 students from all elementary schools. Any student of our district under the age of 14 accompanied by a parent or guardian is welcome to attend. We're going to rotate these among 4 schools. This week it's Bleneva Bond's turn to have activities and to expose our new greenhouse with activities. So please encourage folks to come out. It begins with breakfast at 9, concludes with lunch at noon, and we hope to have another 200 plus people, kids, in attendance, giving them something to do on Saturday morning. It was really great. Cataract did a fabulous job planning it. Our team did a fabulous job planning it. Kids had a good time, and I did see Miss Dunn, who is an expert boots on the ground line dancer, with her fan. I will say she has some really great rhythm and moves. I do not. I did steal her fan for the fan part of it. That's all I could do. But it was fun. It was fun. It was really fun. I always like to give you an update on cell phones because it has been really good. Stamina is the key. We've had to issue some reminders again in the last week or so. We also have Ray and team working on a new way that some students at one of our prep schools are trying to get around the cell phone ban, and it's to use our computers by texting through a Teams. They're using Teams to text each other. So I appreciate our students' ingenuity with technology. I don't particularly care for the fact that we have to address that with some students, but I also promised you to give you updates, and Ray and team will be looking to put some blocking on the ability to use a Teams, and I don't know how they do it, Ray, but to stop the cell phone, the Teams texting that they're doing. Have you?
Yeah, very innovative. It's a constant chase. They keep us honest, and we'll get it buttoned up.
So Ray is assigned the latest issue, but I did, it continues to go well. It's being handled well by our school, our teachers, and our administrators. But that one came to us today, and I had to get Ray involved.
So what are they, just pulling up their friend in the directory and then just shooting them a quick message?
No, we're still investigating a little bit. There's it maybe they're leaking into using older versions of Teams. It's innovative. It's not, because we have the obvious concerns are buttoned up, so they just keep trying. They have no fear to try. And they found something that works. We've been chasing them since day one. Yeah.
So we don't like Ray to have any rest time. I love our geniusness, the geniusness of our students. I mean that sincerely, because I love our kids. But I do want to report to you that was the latest cell phone issue that we had. Just a reminder, and I know many of us are traveling next week for the school board's conference, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It'll be a good time to learn together with school board members from across the state. Our ENL reception will be happening during that time, but I wish everybody a good, safe trip if you're going to the school board's meeting. Also, next Wednesday at about 4 o'clock at the track behind Niagara Falls High School is the annual Joe Jacob Elementary Mile Run. All the elementary kids are out there running, and it's a lot of fun. There's awards and trophies, and Joe Jacob is a great phys ed teacher who had a hand in starting that. For those of you who are calling me already and wondering, because I've received 2 calls today, and I spoke to the city, Halloween will be celebrated on the 31st of October. The hours are 4 to 7, just so that we get that out there. People have been asking. Finally, and most importantly, just again, Julie, Becky, I know you're probably watching. We wish you speedy health, but thank you, Becky, for everything that you've done to make that audit as great as it was. This district will always be indebted to you, and we appreciate you, and of course to the team. Great job on another really great audit. It should be a source of great pride for you. So that's all I have. We will meet on the 6th and the 20th in November, and time is moving fast. Gosh, it is moving fast. It's hard to believe it's going to be November already. It's crazy to me. Thank you, board members, for supporting all of the resolutions and the personnel this evening, and you are appreciated.
Okay, to our adjournment, we would like to adjourn this meeting in memory of Jason Beckham, varsity football coach of Amherst Central High School, Sada Gorajanian, beloved mother of Lisa Flincham, mother-in-law of Steve Flincham, and grandmother to teacher Lauren and Nicholas, also I believe Flincham. Tana Migliazzo, aunt of Carol Cafus. Scott Potwin, husband of the library or Niagara Falls Library Director Sarah Potwin. Mary Kate Ragers, retired music teacher, and husband of Helene Ragers and Camden Ragers. Lena Roshan, former teacher aide. I'd like to adjourn in memory of those folks. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Very good, Mrs. Dunn. Second, Mr. Velardo. On a question? Okay. Say, Judy? In favor? Aye. What?